Hello and welcome to Cornish Walking Trails. Today we're here at the Penrose Estate. This morning it's a real treat. We've got a guest with us today. We're going to do the Penrose Walk, which starts here at the top of the estate, goes all the way down to Loe Pool. Hello everybody, good morning.
Hello.
We have a special guest with us this morning. This
Hi.
is Colin. Colin has his own YouTube channel. You might have caught one or two of his videos, and he's joining us today on the walk around the Penrose Estate. Colin Leggo is a stand-up comedian and the UK 2019 pun champion. He describes himself as forged from Cornish granite and clotted cream. He's been performing comedy throughout the UK for the last 20 years, from his hometown of Falmouth to the Edinburgh Fringe. In 2014, Colin lost one of the most essential tools needed for any stand-up comedian, his right leg, becoming a below-the-knee amputee and the proud owner of a foot made of plastic, which will be really interesting today as we take him on a walk around the Penrose Estate.
So for our walk today, we've parked here. This is a small National Trust car park at Penrose Hill. There's a donations box. Suggested donations £2.
There's three of us. What's that all about?
Yeah, who am I?
So we have a special guest with us today. This is Colin Leggo. You might have caught Colin's channel. He has his own YouTube channel. Got some fantastic comedy videos on there. He's joining us today for a walk around Penrose Estate near Helston.
And Colin is the Punmaster. Well.
No pressure.
Yeah. All right, quick one then. I was out on a walk and I saw a king. I went, "Hi, king."
Very good. So hopefully today's video should be full of humour.
So where are we today, sir?
Well, Penrose Estate is near Helston. It's now owned by the National Trust, and the walk curves around the whole of Loe Pool out to goes out to Loe Pool, goes around Loe Pool. Got that the wrong way around, didn't I?
It's a lovely walk, guys. So we've taken it today from the Walks for All Ages book. We think it's about 3 miles.
Yes.
And it should be, well, it should be a beautiful day today.
Well, the sun is shining, there's no wind, we're going to see the sea. What else could we need? Pasty?
That sounds good. Lie down at some point. Probably. You still with us?
Today, much of the Penrose Estate is owned by the National Trust. It was bought by the Rogers family in 1771 for £11,000, and the house is still occupied by the same family. There is a remarkable story about how the current owner came to inherit. So we're now looking at the Penrose Estate there, Colin. Fabulous house,
It is beautiful,
isn't it?
isn't it? I mean, I wouldn't like to mow this lawn, but it's lovely, isn't it?
Better off getting a cow in, aren't you?
Yeah.
The inheritance on it is really fascinating. So in 2012, the grandfather died and left it to his son. Unfortunately, his son was he wasn't in the best of health. Our local paper reported how Charles Rogers was a reclusive drug addict and was found dead in his car after overdosing on a heroin substitute. Suspecting he may be Charles Rogers' son, Jordan Adlard requested a DNA test. The test proved Jordan was the legitimate son of Charles Penrose, and he inherited this estate. So he went from being a care worker to owning this estate.
Well, he didn't know that he had any...
He didn't know.
Get your mower out. You've got a big lawn. Really?
Yeah.
Blimey.
One day a care worker, next day sat in there.
I mean, all I inherited was my granddad's old Fiesta. I mean, it's not quite the same. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
We thought that when we read that story. So there you go. Get a DNA check done.
Yeah, I'm off to have a DNA. It's mine. I'm going to go and check.
I know.
Just while that's running,
Yeah.
have you spoken to your mum? Did she have a fling at some point many years ago? Is there an inheritance in the background we don't know about?
Ah.
We used to have a hospital cat and a spade, but eventually got rehomed to make.
So Colin makes some very, very funny videos on his YouTube channel. And Colin, your inspiration, a lot of your inspiration is from around Cornwall.
Yeah.
And there's a particularly good jam first Cornish scones video.
Oh yeah, well,
Which is very, very good.
so that is how to make a Cornish cream tea based on another channel by a lady called Jane, who's the English cream tea company. Ooh, controversial. English cream tea.
English cream tea. Is there such a thing?
Exactly, she's a very nice lady, but I did an etiquette, how to eat a cream tea properly, but obviously at the end I was covered in cream. And I smelt of cream for about 2 weeks afterwards. It was awful. But yeah, you've got to have jam first.
You
and cream
have.
tea, yeah.
But that leads us on to another Cornish delicacy, Colin.
Yes.
The Cornish pasty.
Okay. Yeah, still jam first. No. Well, we haven't had one today. I might need one at the end of this walk, I think.
We're just having a little conversation about best places to get a pasty in Cornwall.
All right.
And I mean, people do say that the very, very best pasties in Cornwall are the ones that your mum or your gran made.
Yes.
Which is probably true.
Or your wife.
Oh,
Piping up there.
Sarah put her hand on.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. You can't beat a homemade pasty, but when you're out and about in your car, travelling around, like I do a lot of gigs. I can't have my mum in the back seat making pasties in my car, so you have to buy one from a bakery. So I'm going to go out there, probably lose followers because everyone's got their favourite pasty. I'm going to say Philps. Philps of Hale. Philps of Hale.
Philps are very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll match your pasty recommendation.
All right.
And I'll go for Porthleven Bakery.
Oh,
There you go.
very
There you
good.
go.
But are you a flaky man, Colin, or are you more of a short crust man?
That's a very personal question, Andrew. Very personal question. No, I moisturise. No, I am short crust all the way.
I'm short
Because
crust
you've got to have like a good solid base to hold that pasty.
You have, yeah, especially if you don't have a bag.
I feel that with the flaky pastry, you have it when you're in the car, and then you get out, and like we were saying earlier, what was your suggestion?
You want to catch it all bib. Do you remember them? When you were a kid?
A grown man in his 40s wearing a bib and with a Tommy Tippy cup eating a flaky pastry pasty. It's got to be done if you're in desperate need.
Do you know, I think there's a gap in the marketplace for one of these products. An adult catch it all bib, just
Yeah.
for eating a flaky pastry pasty.
We put your channel logo on it. Merchandise.
This is an idea.
There we go.
There we go.
Watch this space.
So we've left the Penrose Estate. We're now at the bar at Loe Pool. The sea's looking fantastic. See all the way down to the lizard. Beautiful.
Have special permission.
So we couldn't come out walking without bringing some of our books, and we've got a little passage here about the Loe Pool behind us, and it says, "This is a beautiful stretch of fresh water that winds like a river through the forked and wooded valley and widens as it comes within sight of the sea. Until recently, the Mayor of Helston was wont to present 2 leathern purses containing 3 halfpence each to the Lord of Penrose, and ask leave to cut through the bar and release the surplus waters." So the pool is fed by the River Cober from Helston, and unless they cut the bar, the bottom of Helston St John's would get flooded. These days, there's a complex system of tunnelling that allows the River Cober to go straight out to the sea, and St John's is no longer threatened. But years ago, they actually used to cut the bar and release all of the water out into the sea. And it goes on to say that the old cutting of Loe Bar used to tinge the sea with yellow as far as the Isles of Scilly. So that used to just flood out with sand and colour the water yellow to the Isles of Scilly. Unbelievable. So this walk we chose today was with you in mind.
Yes.
So why is that, Colin?
Well, because not everyone knows this, but I'm a below knee amputee.
Which is really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it is. It is because the world is not always that friendly if you've got, one leg or a prosthetic leg. So we chose this because what's the wording? It's accessible to all.
Yeah, it's in our Easy Walks book. It's meant to be accessible to most people.
Yeah.
And we've just come up the new path that was put in a few years ago by the National Trust, and I think you found that quite challenging.
Yeah, it's there's a little windy path coming up to the top of the cliff here, and I must admit, with a prosthetic leg with an ankle that doesn't really bend,
Yeah.
that was a bit challenging. Out of 1 to 10 on a challenge scale, that was about a good solid 7.5.
Yeah, it didn't quite stop you, but you needed to be careful.
You've caught me out of breath though. But that's probably just because I'm unfit. But no, if you've got a wheelchair, or
Do you
even
think that's doable?
if you've got a wheelchair, you're going to have someone who's really quite strong to push that wheelchair up.
And really good brakes if you're going down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it is doable. I mean, I've got a prosthetic and I don't walk with any sticks, but it is a little bit nerve-wracking coming up with your balance.
Yeah.
So anyone who's maybe challenged in their mobility, just bear that in mind, I think.
Yeah. So we quite often get asked about a person with challenges to their mobility.
Yes.
How easy is it to walk? So that's a really helpful recommendation that this isn't quite what it's all cracked up to be.
I mean,
maybe.
the rest of the walk so far has been, you know, slight inclines and stuff, but that was a bit of a challenge. But doable. I'm here.
Yeah.
We made it.
And we can carry on.
I hate to tell you this, Colin, I wasn't filming when you were coming up there.
Okay.
Yeah. Take
Are
2.
you able to just do that again for us?
Knew something like this would happen.
Colin, I'm sure you get asked this all the time.
Hang on, what are you about to ask me, Andrew?
Would it be possible to have a look at your leg?
Of course, young man.
Did I ask nicely enough?
Yeah,
There we
he
go.
did, didn't he?
There we
Say
go.
that? What a nice boy. Okay, here you are. Well, yeah, it's interesting. I don't have a leg cover. Lots of
Right.
people have a prosthetic leg that looks like a leg. I
So
decided,
it's flesh coloured then.
yeah, I didn't do that. For me, it wasn't my thing. So, so I basically have. There you go.
Oh, wow.
Wow. So I'm a below knee amputee, so my leg finishes there, then it goes into this cup onto the titanium ankle, and then weirdly my actual plastic foot is flesh colour.
Oh,
But,
wow.
but you can't see
But
it.
you can't see the flesh
No,
colour
no.
unless you go swimming, but then you won't have the prosthetic.
Half price pedicures.
Got that first sight of Porthleven. There's a bit of sea mist around the sea wall as the sea is really, well, it's in full swing today. Got some fantastic waves, and we've got sight of Rinsey Head where the old tin mine stacks are still visible, lit up by the sun today. Looking fantastic. Really enjoy watching the sea, especially on a day like today. You've got those rollers breaking and they're beautiful. Got the arc where the air gets trapped underneath, loads of foam, loads of bubbles. And it looks spectacular. I'm not sure I'd want to go in for a swim, but it's lovely to look at.
Now I found a perfect pasty bench.
Colin's beaten you to it though, Andrew.
There is a slight snag.
What?
I haven't got a pasty with me.
What is a Cornishman without his pasty?
Seeing whose bench this is, it's dedicated to someone.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, some
There you go.
superstar has brought a bench all the way up here.
That's
in loving
nice.
memory of Michael Williams.
He probably had his pasties up here.
Oh, now that's a thought, isn't it?
Good old Michael, having a munch on a pasty.
So Colin, there's some wonderful places in Cornwall.
Yeah.
And some of the Cornish place names
quite elaborate, aren't they? They're quite funny, aren't they? Do you have a particular favourite?
Well, joking aside, Goon Gumpus is one of my favourite place names. It just sounds amazing. Goon Gumpus.
Doesn't it?
I love it. But there's that large cheesy hill in Cornwall.
Which one's that?
Do you know the large cheesy hill? Yeah. Carnbury. Love it.
Carnbury.
Yeah. And you're starting me off now. I had a biro with a picture of a reptile on it, and I put it inside the Host of Blind Date.
Oh.
Yeah, I put my lizard peninsula.
Ah,
The lizard peninsula. That's not tenuous.
boom, boom.
Sir Isaac Newton, do you know Sir Isaac Newton?
Oh, yeah.
When he was in Cornwall,
Yeah.
he wouldn't drink any fortified wine. I said, come on, have some port, Isaac.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, okay. I will say the one I said earlier, which is I won't be able to say.
This won't go in the video, so don't worry about it. We won't put this in the video. It'll be fine.
There's one large hill in Cornwall that when I'm walking up it, I like to eat chocolate mousse.
Okay.
Brown Willy, and no, I don't like it that much.
No.
Gee, Colin.
You're going to get us closed down.
Do you know, well, you know the sexiest place in Cornwall?
No, what's that?
4 lanes.
Go up there, nobody can see what's going on anyway.
Always misty up there, isn't it?
Oh, stop it.
So earlier we were mentioning about the challenges that present with maybe not being fully able-bodied, and we've just come up another slope.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely, again, with my leg, with the prosthetic,
Yeah.
it's all to do with not being able to bend your ankle. So you walk in a quite a compromised way,
Yeah.
up any incline. I mean, that hill wasn't disastrous on this walk, but it was a challenge again, you know?
So we had to stop a few times.
Yeah,
just
we
to
did.
allow you a bit of a moment.
Because I think I exert more energy walking up a hill than, say, your average person. Because you've got to walk in a different way and think about it all the time.
Right.
So, although this walk is designed for anyone, as it says in the book, or all ages or all abilities, I would say it's challenging in places, but we have seen people of all ages
Yeah, that
doing
little
it.
couple
Yeah,
back there, they must have been in their 80s.
at least.
Yeah.
And they were doing it. So I think this walk is doable if you are able to walk, but it's challenging in places, so just be aware. I think.
Maybe allow a little bit more time
Definitely,
to
yeah.
overcome those challenges, because you have overcome them.
Yeah, oh yes, yeah.
Yeah.
And I would definitely do this walk again. It's not like crazy inclines.
No, not like some of our walks.
No. But it is definitely I'll know tomorrow that I've done it, let's say.
Fair enough. So we're now coming towards the end of our walk. I've thoroughly enjoyed having Colin with us today. Thanks for coming, Colin.
Thank you for joining us, Colin.
Yeah,
It's an absolute pleasure.
Likewise, it's been amazing, and I'm still smiling. I haven't been on the walk, but I think because I'm shy of walking because of my leg. But this has been quite inspiring, really. This walk is totally doable. You just got to be aware of those little hills.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed it. So thank you so much.
Thank
you.
And if you've enjoyed today's punning, you can see Colin live. What are the details, Colin?
Oh
Do you
yeah.
remember?
So I've got a new show coming up called Monopod. It's one-legged, right? One leg, one man, many jokes. And I'm going to be, my first show is at Penley Park Open Air Theatre on the 29th of July.
And if you
Brilliant.
can't remember the exact website, I'll run it along the screen.
There you go.
No.
There you are. Penley Park, I think penleyparktheatre.com. But yeah, come along. It's going to be puns, Cornish tales, and me with one leg.
And I think we're going to
brilliant.
have to be there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Put it in our diary now.
We wish you all the best with that, Colin, and thank you so much for coming out with us
Thank
today.
you guys. Thank you.
And from us for now, we'll say goodbye and we'll see you next time. So, bye!
Bye!